Good. Check it. Go. What's going on, 7.3 fans? Welcome back to the 7.3 Garage. We are doing a little fluid change today. I know in the last video we had going on with the sweet burnout we did. Told you guys about the fluid we're gonna be putting in the truck, and I think I've mentioned this in a couple other videos, but I'll get to all this stuff in just a second. But this is an awesome Suncoast dipstick. I actually got as a gift from the old man last year, but we've had a lot of stuff going on this year, so finally able to get the fluid change to get this in, and I'll tell you why we're changing this in just a second here. But we got basically a head start on this. We got the pan out already, so we have a nice big drip pan draining under there, and we're waiting to clean some of that stuff up. I'll show you what we got going on here. So there's our nice big drip pan. Hey, what is that for? That's usually for what? Mixing concrete or cement?
Yeah.
That thing? Yeah. You can get them at like Lowe's or Home Depot, I think, sells them, but they're awesome. I forgot how much fluid they hold, like the total gallonage, but it's a lot of fluid. So really handy piece of equipment if you can get it, and they're pretty cheap. What are they, like 30 bucks?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, they're cheap.
Yeah, they're really cheap. So whether it's you're doing an oil change or a big fluid job, rear end stuff, so really cool piece of equipment there that you could use. Just, you know, makes your life a lot easier. So I'm gonna come over here and show you guys what we have in the parts box, and show you what else we are gonna be doing to the truck today. As you guys know, I get a lot of my parts from Dieselsite. They are my 7.3 hub, if you will, for a lot of OE stuff and aftermarket performance, along with Jelly Boat Performance. But just to show you what I got from them. So these have been sitting actually a little bit. Nice brand new filter here. This works just fine with the Mag High Tech deep pan like I have on my truck here. This is for a E40D 40100, so super nice pan. I actually had that put on when I had them build the transmission a couple years ago. So we got a brand new filter here, along with a new dipstick adapter, and I'll tell you what the reason is for this. So we got a new dipstick adapter, and where is it? Here you go. And then finally, we have a nice new tail shaft seal for the tail shaft of the transmission. Mine has been leaking out of here very slowly, almost like an ooze, if you will. So we're going to be switching that out today as well. So we'll probably have to do that before we get the fluid back in the truck, so we're not leaking fluid all over the place. So a lot of cool stuff, but we're going to keep cleaning some of this stuff up here and get right to it. A little trick here. So as you can see, this thing covers plenty of surface area under the truck, but common issue, not really an issue, but just a little quirk of these engines, I can't talk today, quirk with these transmissions. If you do this on the ground like I do, I don't have a lift in a shop unless I'm at Frank's, but when you remove that filter, there's a nice little orange O-ring on there, and I'll show you on the new one. But when you pull them out, they normally will stick. So you want to make sure you get that out of there. If you double up on this, nothing good can really come of that. So just with time, they start to get a little, you know, little firm and dry rotted, but they'll end up sticking up in here. So you definitely want to make sure you pull that out, because that could lead to some issues down the road that you don't want, especially since you've already you know, spent all the money on the fluid and whatever else you've been doing to the transmission. You don't want to have any other issues. So very important to get that out. I'm going to get this out and shut the camera off so I don't drop my GoPro into about 3 gallons of transmission fluid. So after getting a better look at this, and the reason why we were going to change this in the first place was because the dipstick wouldn't clear the downpipe with the T4 kit, the way that the old downpipe sat. But after I actually shut the camera off, I had my dad reach down and stick the dipstick down in there, and what do you know? It actually goes right in there, and it clears the clamp and the downpipe and everything. So that is actually pretty awesome. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up. I'm gonna clean up the inside of the mating surface on the actual adapter. So the O-rings are nice and tight and sealed in there, and we'll clean up the O-rings to make sure they're degreased, and we'll get that seated. I'm actually pretty happy, because what we were gonna have to do, and the reason I got that other tube was this was gonna have to be knocked out, and then if we destroyed this, coming out. I wasn't going to put it back in because it wouldn't seal right, and you know, I just didn't want to have any sealing issues or anything like that. And the case on these E40D 4100s and really all transmissions are aluminum, so the metal is very soft. So if for some reason it cracked or anything like that, no chance in hell that that's going to seal ever again. So you know what that means, new transmission case, and it's a big deal. Now if you have it sit on the shelf, it's not really the end of the world, but I think that's going to work. So we're going to clean these bolts up here. I'm going to pull the dipstick tube back out and kind of clean up the mating surfaces like I said, and we'll get those in. And I'm going to get my camera set up so you guys can see us change out that rear shaft seal. So we got that rear seal out. These are pretty straightforward when you take these in and out. Basically just tap around with a nice flathead screwdriver. May bend the ends up, but these kind of just press in. And I'll show you how we're gonna get these, the new one in. But these come out pretty well. But that was leaking. When I had my engine out, I kind of had it positioned poorly, so it was kind of putting some pressure on the shafts back here, and ended up causing a leak somewhere back here. So there's a little bit of fluid, almost like a residue you could see kind of underneath on the cab there, but nothing too crazy. So everything looks good here. The splines on the output shaft here don't look like they're not twisted or gouged or heated or anything like that. So that's always a good sign. So what we're gonna do, or what I'm gonna do, I should say right now, is just kind of get this mating surface all cleaned up. I'll get a little bit of degreaser in there, and we'll get the new one in. And Pops, you have that, oh, here, he's got it right there. So we have a PVC coupler that's actually measures the outside, or this diameter here is what, 2.5?
That's a 2-inch PVC connector.
So this is a 2-inch PVC connector, and then this is about the same size. So we actually ended up miking it. It goes right on there, but you can see we have a nice even surface where the edge of this PVC coupler can get this, because when the goal is when you get it in there, you want to be able to get a nice square hit on it all the way in, because if it goes in crooked, you can have sealing issues and the problem can still kind of hang out and exist. So I'm going to get all this old stuff out of the way. We're going to get this prepped and right up into its spot. Okay, so putting this back in, like I was telling you guys, is basically the reverse procedure here. We prepped it so both surfaces are ready to go. There's a little notch here that was basically at the 12 o'clock position. Not sure if that really matters, but we're going to put it back to how it was. Oh, and our light's going dead. So kind of get it square as you can, and you're going to use a nice piece of wood.
Looks like it's more on the top than the bottom.
So we got to do what? Get it to work, because you can see it a little better than I can.
Notch at the top.
Yeah, it's basically 12.
Yeah, looks good right there. Yeah, you're gonna have to hold that.
I can hold it. Being everybody's way.
Yeah, hold on, it's gonna come. I think right there.
Yeah.
See
I think it's a little crooked. It looks crooked to me. I'm looking at the
gap.
That looks good there, no?
Let me see. Yeah.
All right.
All right. If you can hold it
I
there.
got it perfect there, yeah.
You gotta put that wood and I'll tap it.
Let me get this out of the way because we don't need this.
Hold it right across the middle. I'm hitting dead center of the thing. Don't put your head in front of Claudia's. Ready?
Yep. Stand by. You gotta tap it a little more on this side.
Ready?
Yep. Stand by. Yeah, it's going in more on the drivers. You gotta go on the left. Look. And just give it like nice little taps, and I'll just. Good.
Should be sitting on the case pretty flat.
It's sitting pretty flat. Stand by. All right, go a little bit more on the passenger side. Feels pretty good. Give me a little more on the drivers. All right, stop. That looks pretty damn good to me.
Flat all the way around.
It looks like it, yeah.
I mean, it went in square because it's on the connector. So.
Yeah, you want to give it a little bit around on the outside, just a little tap?
No, I think.
I mean, that's perfect.
I could tap it again with the wood.
You want to, you know what? If you want to go
So
around it
hit
with
it
this,
even.
you want to hit it around with this, nice and easy. Or I could do it, whatever you want.
It sounds like it's there.
I mean, it looks like it's friggin' there, dude. It looks like it came in pretty good, actually. The pipe actually worked pretty good. The on the camera, that looks like there, like on the shadow, looks like there's a gap here. There really isn't. If you can see it with your own eyes, it really doesn't. There's really not a gap at all. So hopefully that'll be good to go. It's all nice, and that actually ended up working awesome. This is a 2-inch, just a 2-inch PVC connector. If someone's going to do that, it goes on perfectly and gets around the whole edge there. But there's your finished product. So we're going to get the drive shaft back up into position and locked in, and then basically just have to finish up with the front of the transmission, get the filter in, prep this mating surface here, get all the hardware up there, add our fluid, get our dipstick ready to go, and we should be done. Starting to put fluid in the truck. We got the dipstick basically in the right position. This is a Suncoast dipstick, and this is for a E40D 4100 series transmission. Not a whole lot of mounting options here as of right now, but Pop's going to hold that in position where we're going to kind of get it. So we're going to try and use where the condenser is. We're going to try and fabricate like a little metal piece to get it to hold on there, but that looks pretty cool the way it's sitting. So instead of the dipstick being kind of tucked back, it'll basically sit up there, something like that. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to jump in the truck, and Mag High Tech has a little procedure you're supposed to do to make sure that the fluid level's at the right side, at the right height. So I'm going to jump in the truck and do that right now. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. You're good? Okay. Basically what it is getting in the truck, starting it, putting it in drive, and then putting it into neutral, which I guess that kind of engages the pump when it starts spinning as soon as you start it up. Okay, you ready? All right, check it. Good. He can't hear me. Good. Check it. Go. He can't hear. You're good. Yeah. Good, check it. Yeah. So that was fun. So we do have to add a little bit of fluid. Ended up not being, I'll get those out later, just chalk so we didn't run ourselves over with the truck. So we're gonna add a little more fluid. What we're doing kind of slowly is, this is low. So we have our nice catch basin here. So what we're doing is slowly pouring the oil or the fluid that we had in there back into where we, into the original containers, just to get a gauge on how much fluid actually truly came out of the pan. So there's a couple different, not really discrepancies is really the right word, but I guess variations, if you will, is the right terminology for how much fluid should be in the pan. But we added the 2.5 gallons, which is 10 quarts, and we just added another 2, so there's 12 in the pan right now, and I believe it'll hold 16. So we're gonna add a little bit more, but it was barely reading on the bottom of the dipstick. We added another 2. This is where it was marked initially. So we're about, I don't know, a 1/16 of a quart shy of where the mark was. And this is all the fluid that was in the pan. So not counting the converters, we didn't drain that, and we didn't drain the fluid. So all the remaining fluid in the cooler and in the lines as well. So, hey, do you want to move this out to the street so we're level?
I mean, you can. This is pretty close.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a huge grade. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference, but it's basically the same quantity of fluid was coming out. All right, I'll do the same thing. I'll give you a thumbs up. So last time I was screaming, but you couldn't hear me. All right. He's checking now to see what it's going to be. And the transmission is not at operating temperature either, so this is, I guess, just an immediate check to see if it's going to be how full it really is. It's still the same? It needs more? Is it the same spot?
Yeah.
It's the same. So if you dip it in there, it hasn't moved.
Oh, it's ready reading now.
Okay, yeah, maybe it needs a second. There we go. Now it's on the lower end, and it's not even hot. I mentioned that inside.
Right, it's supposed to be at operating temperature.
Correct, that's what I just said, yeah.
What I think you should do is
Drive it.
you can even just let it idle if you
Yeah,
want.
just let it pump through.
Yeah, start it up and just let it idle.
Okay.
Check for leaks, and let's get some temperature in there. Let it move around, and then we can. You know, you got plenty of that. You can do it.
Yeah, it's not like we're gonna run out.
Do it half a quarter at a time.
Okay. Didn't want to bore you guys with the rest of filling the truck up with the oil and everything, but everything is right where it needs to be. We got the fluid level perfect. We got 16 quarts in the pan. We actually ended up, should just did it in the first place, but we ended up looking up the Mag High Tech pan capacity, and it was 16 quarts in the pan. So we got that dialed in, and the operating temperature level is perfect. So we have the proper amount of fluid in there. I just took the truck down the street for like 10-15 minutes, drove it around. Temps are fine. There's no active leaks. The rear seal that we just replaced is not leaking, which is great. And there's no leaks from the dipstick. We are gonna, I believe this Sunday, come up with a mount. So the next video I do, I'll try and show you guys how we're gonna mount that dipstick. We're gonna kind of fabricate a nice little piece of metal to hold on to the two mounting points where the dipstick goes, so it looks nice and clean in there. Thank you guys again, as always, for tuning in. I really appreciate the support. Do not forget to check out jellybuiltperformance.com for all of your 7.3 Power Stroke needs. Tuning, Brian can get you dialed in for whatever you got for your Power Stroke, OBS, or Super Duty. He is the man to talk to. Go ahead and check out his website. It's always down in the description below. And keep trying to keep the content rolling for you guys. We have some other cool ideas for next year, like I've been talking about, but pretty stoked on all that stuff. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, my name is Brandon. This is the 7.3 Garage, and we will see you next time.